Hello, hello, hello. It's a brand new day, and this is our morning connection. How are you doing this morning? I'm Skip Cour. I'm so glad you are here for a daily ritual, or daily habit, or daily discipline of checking in. You and me, just two men, a little bit older, going through the journey of life, comparing notes, getting our minds right as we take on the day. Are you watching this at a designated time of day? Maybe you're watching me live. It's 3 a.m. on the West Coast Pacific time, but could be a few hours later if you're going east in the United States. And I know it's afternoon, it's evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm just so glad you're here. But are you doing this as a designated part of your day, right? Structured, schedule. I want you to think about where you're going, who you really are, what you're all about. That's what I'm here to do. When you hear the music, you come on here. It's game time, right? It's game time. It's time to get your head right, at least for a few minutes. Think about your life. Anytime you assess, monitor, you track anything you do, sometimes it can be burdensome. Sometimes, the improvements that we want in our lives, or maybe it's with your working out, with your training, maybe it's, your financial situation, maybe it's your relationships, with, whatever it is for you. Sometimes we go through the grind, we go through the habits every single day, and that improvement that we want, a lot of times it doesn't happen nearly as quickly as we want. The changes aren't as drastic as we want. It seems like a lot of the same thing every single day. And when we don't see that progress that we want, doesn't feel different, and we're doing the same things, and tracking, monitoring, assessing, breaking it down, can feel really burdensome. It's like the same old thing. Why am I doing all this? But anytime, no matter how uncomfortable it feels, that you can track, monitor, and assess what you do, you can't help but get better. You'll see it over time, right? 3 months, 6 months of that tracking, monitor, assessing everything you do. Hey, I watched this broadcast, every single one right afterwards, breaking it down, assessing, monitoring it, tracking the numbers, how this is growing, and thank you so much for making it grow, right? Sometimes, again, it doesn't happen just like, for you. Things don't happen as quickly as that I want. But, even in the back of your mind with all that tracking, monitoring, assessing, you're getting better. You're getting better. It's just that, sometimes I wish I could, fast forward a year into the future so I can see where all this hard work will pay off, all these hopes and dreams will pay off, right? Because we don't see it a lot of the times, right? So we got to hang in there. We got to have that belief in our plan. And today, during this short time that we're connecting, I want to talk about something that I always talk about, imagination, but your beliefs, right? How you spin the story of your life. All the good things, can you make them even better? All the challenging things. Is there a way for you to spin them that, my challenges in the past have served me, and this is no different? And you stay poised and confident as you're going through the challenges and everything in between, maybe the boring times, that this will serve you in some way, shape, or form. Can you spin your story that way? The more you can, and feel that way, not only going to enjoy the moment, right? Even when there's challenges, you'll stay poised, stay confident, and those around you can see you're poised and confident. And if you're a man a little bit older, you got a lot of responsibility like me, people are looking for you, that energy, right? They can't see you dropping that energy. You got to stay positive, you got to stay strong, you got to stay working, moving forward, right? They're just feeding off your energy. You're the strength, you're the pillar, if you know what that's like, right? But it's got to start with your own head, right? How do you spin your story? Right? I want to talk about that a little bit more during this morning connection live broadcast. And again, if you're watching it on a replay version on my YouTube channel, and that's at Skip Cour, make sure you come over here every once in a while to Facebook where I do it live, and that's at Skip Cour page. If you're coming over from maybe a clip that I put on Instagram, Skip Cour, or on Twitter, Skip Cour, or maybe LinkedIn, I'm so glad you're here. So glad you are here. Doesn't matter how you got here. It's just our daily check-in. All right, let's see who do we have watching. I always want to acknowledge you for being here. And then I want to talk about that reality, how you spin your story for both pain and pleasure, good times and bad times. All up to you and your imagination. All right, the most viewers here. Hello, Caesar. Good morning to you, sir. Hello, Lewis. And hello, Masashi. Good to have you here. I see Paul is here. Curtis is here too. Great to have you guys here. Remember, I'm going to ask you a little, every time you're making this investment of time out, I'm so glad you are. I want you to tell me what you found most valuable about our time that we spend together here today. And then, if you want to send me a direct message, an email at skip@skiplacour.com, or there's some challenge you're going through and you wanted my perspective for whatever that's worth, that's what all day, all the time that I do, whether it's training, nutrition, people, men's bodies, or they want other things like to become that total package that I talk about. All I'm doing is helping them spend their store. I'm using what I call it's my superpower. I spend so much time looking at how they can make their situation even better, even more options. That's a great place to be. Or even when they're challenged, right? Sometimes we get blocked into only a few solutions. Or there may be many solutions. Some of them are easier, and sometimes they're even somewhat obvious, but not obvious to us because we're blocked in to the chance we don't see all the potential, right? So you go ahead and send me an email right now. I'd love to have your topic. Hello, Derek. Hello, Vince. Paul, Sashi. All right, guys. So glad you are here. Thank you for watching live. I want you all also tell me, you can put it down below, maybe a pull quote, something that I say. A lot of times I'm just coming up to you. You're the first person I'm talking to again this morning, and just kind of roll it out there. If there's something that you found powerful, insightful, go ahead and post that down below. Maybe I could expand upon it on a future morning connection, being that we're here together all the time. So like I said, a couple things I've already talked about is my role, and I take my role as the leader of my family. I take it very seriously. I cherish my role, and just like with any role, there's great positive things, and you know what? The best things in life, they come with a price tag, right? You got to pay the price, and one is that I say stay strong, right? For my kids, for my wife, they're looking to make their experience certain, strong, confident, spin it in a positive way, happy, right? We're all happiness, whatever our goals are, whatever we're going through, we want to feel that happiness and that sense of control. And it's one thing that I got to do. Sometimes, I've been going so hard. I'm kind of thinking when I get a little break, if you ever get that little break in time, I'm kind of thinking that I haven't been able to mourn the loss of my dog from 11 years. I've just been going so hard. And first and foremost is that I know my wife took it really hard, and my kids are doing great. But they're my first priority, staying strong for them. But I think if I ever get a break of time, that I wonder if I'm going to just skip over that. I'm surprised, how I've handled that. But I think it's because my kids, my family, the most important thing. I got to worry about them first, as that example. But one thing is that I meet with my wife, like right now. So I'll do this show, and then I'll just pack up. I'll go to the gym, and I'll be home at 5 a.m. So we meet at 5 a.m. Just for 10, 15 minutes in the morning, just kind of talk over our situation, like what we're doing, right? It's just what's going on, what's the great things, how can we make them better, what are the things that we got to do, what are the challenges, how can we spend this in a way to keep on moving forward, to take advantage of the tremendous opportunities that we have in front of us. I got so many opportunities to talk to you, and so that we keep them, in the front of our mind, right? The worst thing in life is when you're winning and you don't really realize, and maybe you realize it later, like, why didn't I seize that moment? Things were going so well, but we didn't appreciate it. So we spin it that way. And then we try to wrap up in the night, with the kids and going to bed and all that. But we try to summarize. And one thing that I'm always doing is I'm always spinning it, the reality of what's happened. Because one thing that you'll always hear me say is that the future is not determined. I don't care what has happened in the past. I don't care what you think is trending forward, a bad thing. I better watch out for this, or these people, this, or whatever people say. It doesn't matter. The future is not determined. It's determined by what you think and what you do. It's just a blank slate. Sure, there are trends. You got to predict patterns, right? But it's all up to your imagination. That imagination that you have going forward and what you do every single day is totally based on how you can take your circumstance and spin it in a way that empowers you. Sometimes I think I'm so good at doing it because I talk to so many men just like you one-on-one. That's my job. When they got great situations, I help them think of different ways to make them even greater and appreciate them even more because many times they don't see it. Certainly with their challenges, many ways. I work with so many different men. I have so many ideas and suggestions and perspective that sometimes they get blocked in. So every single week, I'm pouring solutions to their biggest challenges. Perspective. That perspective that it creates that imagination, how much we believe in it will determine what we do and don't do every day, our experience every single day. All right? Sometimes I think I'm so good that, and you'll hear me talk about this, is pain. A lot of times when your back's against walls, it really makes you creative, really makes you resourceful, and really makes you gritty. Sometimes I think I'm so good at looking at the bright side that I kind of take that pain off, right? Anyway, but just remember that, where are you, where you're going, how much you believe, and then how compelling is your future. And I talked with one of my coaching clients yesterday, and going through a challenge, right? We're all going through challenges, right? And spinning that story, that imagination. And, the immediate situation, it wasn't, it's challenging, right? We've all been there. And what I did is I helped them kind of open up where maybe it's going to take a little while to get through this, couple challenges stacked on top of each other, but creating a 5-year plan, because if you're a little bit older, like I am, you realize time goes by quickly now. And making okay, I've got all these couple really, challenges in front of me, but if you can open up to where I'm going to be 5 years from now, because it's going to come whether or not you prepare for it or not, whether you see it or not, it gives you more time, right? It opens up that imagination, get through the challenges that are in front of you. So just remember that if there's one thing is how can you open up, how much do you believe? And really, and again, I say this to you, the internet is a great thing, and that's why you're here. I hope I'm bringing value to your life. But I tell you, there's so many people that their reality, for whatever reasons, God bless them, negative. They see themselves as practical or realist. They're tight. They're grinding, right? Protecting themselves and, really, I guess, doing their best to protect you too. That's their reality, not yours. We create our own in our minds, in our hearts, in what we do. That imagination is so important. But how can you spin that in a way to make your great situations even better, your challenging situations? You'll get it, even if it takes 5 years to do that. All right, so that's going to do it. Let me check in one more time. Hello, Al. Good to have you guys here. All right, just some things to think about, right? Every time I come here, I know the theme, the organizing principles to success and happiness and fulfillment are the same for all of us. They're the same no matter what your challenges are. All right, sometimes it sounds like the same thing just spun, but I'm hoping that with just these check-ins, it's just what you need at the right time with the situation going through today. Because when you have that same but different challenge, you're going to need it then too. All right, so take on the day. Look, let's connect. Let's take on this week with that sense of urgency. We've got more time behind us than we do in front of us. Got to love, hug, connect. Got to work on that mindset. Got to work on that imagination. We've got to spin our story in a way that empowers us. Work out, train, take care of yourself, all right, with that sense of urgency. All right, so expect the best from yourself, expect the best from your efforts, and expect the best from other people, and have a great day.